everybody. Welcome to another episode of Two Strike Noise, your favorite baseball history podcast. My name is Jeff. As always, I'm on half of the show. I've been here for 327 of these, 26 of these. No, 27, because Mark missed one. But speaking of Mark, he is the other half of this show that is, as always, up in the Pacific Northwest. This week, a bit sad. We're wearing a black armband here. Mark is broadcasting from the Butch Huskey Memorial Stadium, who just passed away. R.I.P. to Butch Huskey, number 42. I think he was
one of the last number 42s.
Yeah, I think he was the last Mariner to wear 42. I had a list of this at some point. He was not the last Met, who I associate him with the Mets.
Yeah.
But one of those players that was grandfathered in that got to wear number 42, he passed away. He's our age, Mark. Well, my age. You're 78.
But gosh. I'm so nowhere near 78.
Yeah, much
I got to speak up for myself once in a while.
78 was like 20 years ago, I know.
Right, exactly. I'm almost 100.
But unfortunately, Butch passed away a week or so ago. And we've talked about him. We've had his cards before. Member of some Mets teams that were kind of memorable and some Mariner teams that weren't.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever caught a fly ball for the second out and threw it in the stands down 20-0 or something. Yeah.
I don't think anyone would do that.
I know Larry Walker did it, but it was a close game. But no, we're Julio. Man, I don't want to talk about the Mariners with you because you're probably going through it right now. It's probably not the best time to.
Oh, believe me, I'm hearing it from all angles. It was a bit of a rough outing there for, everyone. So, yeah, I mean, all you can do is laugh at it and go, geez, it's the same. You get the same number of losses as you do if you lose 1-0. So
I was talking more the season overall. That game was just encapsulated the entire season.
The season overall has been a little rough. Not gone as we expected. Yes, this is true. I had a listener point out to me that the Mariners are now 0-5 in games where they get outscored by 20 runs.
I saw that. Who'd have thunk it?
I mean, what are the odds?
I saw something. I've always been very bullish. I think that's the phrase on Cal Raleigh.
Absolutely.
I've watched him play since he came up, and in my mind, he's a good defensive catcher. He's got some pop, but obviously last year was just an anomaly, just a fantastic anomaly. But this year, I mean, this isn't Cal Raleigh. This is awful.
No,
I mean,
if it wasn't something goofy.
Yeah, if it wasn't for his glove, I don't think he'd be in the lineup at this point. But I did see, Aaron Judge has missed almost the entire season. Aaron Judge has one more hit than Cal Raleigh does this year. That was 1 and 2. Yeah. That was 1 and 2 on your MVP last year too.
It was, yeah.
And, wow.
Bummer about Judge. Not a huge Yankees fan, but I do like to watch that guy play. Yeah,
it's like the Dodgers. I never root for them, but I don't really hate anybody on those teams.
Right, exactly.
But I won't root for them. Let's get into it, Mark. Let's talk BP. We got to warm up here. We don't want to pull anything. So let's talk some Billy Joel here.
Okay.
Why not, huh? So I found this out during one of our live streams about the Nylon Curtain album from Billy Joel. I don't know if you're familiar with it. If you've heard, I've at least heard the title. I looked through the playlist and saw what songs are on it. This is from 1982. The Nylon Curtain features songs like Allentown, Pressure, and what happens to be my favorite Billy Joel song of all time, Good Night, Saigon.
Oh, nice.
So the front of this album cover looks like a Sue Grafton novel. It literally just looks like a book cover. And for all my Office fans out there, Sue Grafton is super hot. The back of the album is another story, though. It's a candid shot of Billy Joel. He's got a cup of coffee, and he's looking at the sports page in like a garden. And on this sports page, it is very easy to read the headline that is on the sports page. And it reads, quote, Expo's top punchless Mets, end quote. So for my Stepbrother fans out there as well, any song from this album is up for Uptown Girl to perform at the Catalina Wine Mixer. The effing Catalina Wine Mixer.
Oh, you got me on that one.
I love Step Brothers. One of my favorite.
It is quite a funny movie.
My wife can't stand it, and I will watch it at the drop of a hat. Love that movie. But so there, Billy Joel, I don't think that was intentional that he got the Mets on one of his album covers, but I have been rewatching the 1986 World Series. And I was watching Game 2 recently. And who is in the stands watching this game but none other than Billy Joel and Christie Brinkley at Game 2 in Shea Stadium. And Brinkley has somehow brought in this camcorder with her. Now, this is 1986, so camcorders are literally, if you see people with steady cams today with all that stuff, you know, that's what a camcorder looked like at that point.
That's right.
So she's got this thing on her shoulder. It's just so big, but she's recording the game. And I am just, all I can think of is, did she get the express written consent of Major League Baseball to do that?
Yeah, that was my first thought. I'm being 100% honest. What about the express written consent of Major League Baseball?
I mean, I guess if she's there in person, nobody's reading her that warning. It's just hilarious because it's so big. And then when they first show her doing that, you can't even see her because she's on the other side of this huge device. And Vin Scully makes kind of an 80s boomer reference about her and how beautiful she is.
Gotcha.
But it's Vin Scully, so we'll let him get away with a little bit of... It was nothing blatant. It was just like, oh, too bad she's on the other side of that camera. She's a very beautiful woman. So no lies detected. And remember, I think it was episode 100. It was all about Christie Brinkley's baseball card set that she shot all of them.
That's right.
Yeah. So she's apparently a baseball fan too.
Let's get her on the show.
Yeah. And Billy Joel. Let's get them together in the studio.
I saw Billy at when it was Safeco Field. It was, I'm a Billy Joel fan, but I've never bought one of his albums or anything. I'm not a huge fan.
Billy Joel got me through that first semester of college because that's what everybody was listening to for some reason. But I loved it.
I tell you what, that concert is one of the best I've ever seen. The guy is a showman, and you know every song.
Yeah, I've worked a couple of his shows and did not mind them at all, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Mark, another thing, and I swear it's not all Mets related, but I do watch the Mets every day, and their broadcasts are just so good. Not just the booth, but just the whole thing. This is from Steve Gelbs, who is their sideline reporter, essentially. He's not there every game, but when he is, he's really good. He gets good insight and is very entertaining. Sometimes he even does the play-by-play when Gary's gone. So he was talking to some Mets players that played in Korea, and I had never heard of this before. But apparently smoking is still a big thing in Korea.
Oh, really?
And I will admit, as Chandler Bing once put it, I've had it with you guys and your lung cancer and your emphysema and your heart disease. The bottom line is smoking is cool and you know it. How many references to sitcoms can I get in here today?
Wow, no kidding.
This is 3 in batting practice.
You're going for
alone.
A record.
Yeah. Now, I don't smoke cigarettes. I maybe like once a year socially, but I don't encourage anybody to start smoking. If you do smoke, just know, though, you look cool. But you smell awful. Just, you can't have it both ways. Regardless, at the bottom of the 5th inning, both teams, the umpires, every single person on the field leaves, goes into the clubhouse for 5 minutes, kind of like a halftime, which frankly seems like a better time to do it than middle of the 7th inning, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, it's more measured.
Yeah. But what do they do when they go in there? Are they talking strategy? You know, what do they do? Are they showering? Are they changing? Nope. They all go into the clubhouse to take a smoke break.
Nice.
Like everybody is in there smoking. Ron Darling said, and I can't take credit, this is a great line, but Ron Darling, when he heard this, said it's like the opposite of the hydration break at the World Cup. They also apparently, while they're smoking it up in there, eat hard-boiled eggs.
Well, why not?
Sure. Is this like a players union thing? Like, we have to have smoke breaks. Is this going to be a thing in the off season here? Are the players going to be like, we demand hard-boiled eggs and smoke breaks during the game?
Maybe there's something to it. I don't know. I'll give it a try. I'm probably not the smoke breaks, but let's see if Jeff, you're going to play some ball. Have some hard-boiled eggs before you head out there.
Well, it's protein, right? That's what you're supposed to have. I do like hard-boiled eggs, deviled eggs, egg salad sandwich. Love it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they were. He mentioned one of the Mets players that was there didn't know about this, and so the first game he was due to. I don't remember if he was leading off the inning or if he was going out on defense, but he just picks up his glove and runs out there, not knowing what's going to happen. And he turns around and he's like, "Is this a hazing thing?" But then the visiting team's gone, the umpires are gone. He's like, "Is everybody in on this?" And no, you get the union mandated smoke break in the middle of the fifth inning.
That is bizarre.
All right, Mark, we haven't talked about it, but the WPBL has started, the Women's Professional Baseball League. It's been going on for a couple of weeks. They've got some really interesting stories about some of these players that are in this league. I wanted to highlight one player in particular this week. You could say she's the female Jim Abbott, but I also kind of feel like she's herself. We're not going to compare her to anybody else, but her name is Britt Apgar. She was born with a limb difference, which is she's got a small right forearm, half a palm, and no fingers. She had 12 surgeries before she was 4 years old. She's 22 now. She pitches and plays the outfield for the Los Angeles Queens. She grew up near East Carolina University, where she would go and watch the baseball team. And she fell in love with baseball. She'd play catch with her dad and her brother. So her dad studied Jim Abbott to help teach her how she could play baseball with her, what she was born with this limb difference. So she went out for the baseball team in high school. She actually made the team. She was going to make the team, but the coach said there's locker room issues, team chemistry. I think he just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Even though she was a good baseball player. She dropped entirely out of school. She worked full time after her mother broke both of her legs in a home accident. Her mom's legs. Her mom didn't break her legs.
Gotcha.
Didn't break Britt's legs. This isn't a misery type situation.
We're being careful how we use the English language.
Yes. I just want to be clear. So 2+ years ago, she saw a post on social media to try out for this league. She decided, all right, I'll try. What the heck? So she tried out in Nationals Park last year. She made herself a workout schedule getting ready for this that would make Rocky feel like a slacker. She would get up at 6 a.m. and run before work. During her lunch break at work, she would do another run in a weighted vest. And then once she got home, she'd take batting practice with her dad. And she did late night gym sessions with a college wrestling friend.
Wow.
So very dedicated.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Out of 600 plus players at the tryout, she was drafted in the 3rd round. Now, the problem was here that she rests the bat on the nub of her right arm, I guess. Yeah. Which is fine if you're playing softball or whatever. But at a camp that she went to for this Women's Professional Baseball League, her nub actually split open because the pitches were so much faster in the upper 70s and lower 80s. But she didn't want anybody to know because she didn't want to seem, she didn't want help. She didn't want to be looked at as being not like everybody else. So she quietly in the outfield would just untuck her jersey and put her nub on her shirt, on her socks, anything that was dark so that they couldn't see that she was bleeding.
Oh, wow.
So she posted on Instagram asking for help, and she got flooded with suggestions, which is usually the opposite of what happens when you ask for help on social media. But one of the actual investors in the league, his name's Jeff Gardner, built her a prototype of a batting glove that has foam in it, and it also has part of an old prosthetic in it. And so now she wears that when she goes up to bat, and it helps her grip the bat a bit more. It's not putting any pressure on that nub, so she's not going to, break it open or anything.
Sure.
So far this year, she has appeared in 5 games. She's hitting .333, 2 for 6. She's got an RBI, and she's walked and stolen a base. She's also come in. She's pitched in 1 game. She went 2/3 of an inning. She gave 2 earned runs, 1 hit. She did walk 4 and gave up a home run with no strikeouts. So the pitching wasn't so hot, but her team is 4-1, and she's contributing. And it's a great story.
That's cool. Very cool.
So just wanted to make sure to highlight that. And then, speaking of girls playing with the boys, Colby Rasmus. Do you remember Colby Rasmus?
Sure.
Was he with the Rangers? I think he was at some point.
Maybe
the Braves as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I know the name because it's a unique name.
Colby Rasmus, the Astros, St. Louis,
I should
Toronto,
have known
Houston, Tampa Bay, and Baltimore. I didn't name a single one of them. But he pitched in the big leagues for 10 years. First round draft pick by the Cardinals in 2005. Well, I've been watching the Little League World Series because I love the Little League World Series. And his niece, Kinley, is on the Atlanta Little League team. I don't know if they advanced or not, but I was watching a game. She was on the bump. She's got a curveball that is, it's maybe not 12-5. It's like 12:30 or 12-6. It's more like 12:30 to 6:30. But I mean, nobody's faced one of those before.
Sure, yeah.
And
wow,
she goes out there. She also has a great bat. She was raking with the bat to
that's awesome, man.
Continue just highlight a couple of women in baseball, because baseball is for everybody. All right, that'll do it for our batting practice segment. The grounds crew is out here doing a fine job as always. Mark, we got to remember to tip them at the end of the regular season. I don't know if there'll be playoff shares for either of us this year, so we'll make sure to take care of them. But with that being said, Mark, I am going to go over and hand the reins to you metaphorically, because we are not in the same room, and let you handle the main topic this week.
All right. Well, I was doing a little research, a little reading, which is, kind of new for me. And I came across a guy I want to talk about today who actually died before the Civil War ended.
Wow.
So that's pretty different than what we're used to. Anyway, you may have heard of him. His name is Jim Creighton. And many consider him baseball's first superstar. Now, we've talked about Home Run Baker and some of the others. This guy's just a little bit of an earlier version, because he was playing back when Abraham Lincoln was president. Baseball's first superstar, and maybe its first great what if. We're going to go back before Cap Anson. We're going to go back when there were no major leagues. This is a guy that played when Lincoln was president, when baseballs were handmade. Obviously no gloves. Pitchers were expected to serve the ball up like they were tossing batting practice to their little brother. Well, Jim Creighton, if you haven't heard of him, don't feel bad. Most baseball fans haven't. But if baseball had a Mount Rushmore of pioneers, Jim Creighton belongs on it. Jim Creighton was born in New York City on April 15th,
New York City?
Get a rope. There you go. Wow, that is an obscure reference, and we both knew it.
Pace picante.
Pace picante sauce. Wow.
Give that ad agency a bonus. Just a note here, Mark. I went back and look. We have mentioned Jim twice during our 320, but it's always been on BP, and it's just been in passing. So I'm excited to hear the rest of this.
Nice. Okay. Well, as you know, I don't remember the stories from our past as well as you do. We're getting to the point, though, where you can listen to one a day for a year. We're almost there.
Oh, boy.
Well, I think it may be issued as a punishment.
Bad choices. That's what I'm saying.
Some circles. Yeah. That's right.
Baseball in the late 1850s did not really resemble what we're playing today, as we know. I mean, it had a little bit of what we got, but like no gloves. You could soak throw the ball at the player. Pitchers weren't really supposed to pitch. Their job was really to deliver a hittable ball so that everyone could admire the fielders and their hard work. It'd be like telling Paul Skeens, your assignment today is to just throw something nice and easy so the shortstop gets some exercise.
Well, that's technically what Paul Skeens is doing this year, but it's not exactly going to the fielders directly.
Well, I had to mention him because I made a really big chunk of money off of one of his cards recently. So he's in my good books right now, especially because now I couldn't get that for what I sold it for.
You sold high. Good move.
Boy, I tell you what. Basically, it was like toss it in there, he can call for a high pitch or a low pitch. And Creighton apparently heard these instructions and thought, nah, I don't think so. He became the first dominant power pitcher. Technically, he still threw underhand because the rules required it, but he figured out how to snap his wrist and put tremendous speed and movement on the baseball. It was probably illegal, but it was definitely effective. Historians often describe him as the first pitcher who treated hitters like enemies instead of customers, which makes sense to me. So here, this is the precursor to a Nolan Ryan or a Randy Johnson or a Bob Gibson.
He was going to intimidate batters. He was going to use pitching to advantage his team. And that changed baseball forever. Every great pitcher from old Hoss Radburn to Walter Johnson to Randy Johnson to Felix Hernandez owes a tiny piece of their baseball DNA to Jim Creighton. Here's the crazy thing. He wasn't just a pitcher, because he was one of the best hitters of the game, because, it was 1860. Everybody did everything. It'd be like Shohei Ohtani if he sold hot dogs between innings. Creighton joined the Brooklyn Excelsiors in 1860. The Excelsiors were baseball royalty. We've discussed them a little bit. They popularized the modern baseball cap. So, yes, Jim Creighton was actually one of the first stars to wear something that looked like a baseball cap instead of a Civil War pajama hat. The Excelsiors went on baseball's first great road trip. They toured cities throughout the Northeast, defeating club after club and helping spread baseball's popularity far beyond New York. It's hard to overstate how famous Creighton became. He was baseball's attraction. When a theme park opens up a new roller coaster and everybody shows up, this was Jim Creighton. He was the new roller coaster of the theme park. People came specifically to watch him pitch. That's almost unheard of in the amateur era. And there's another one. Officially, he wasn't getting paid. No, none of them were. Unofficially, okay, envelopes of cash had a mysterious way of finding talented players. Many historians believe Jim Creighton may have been baseball's first professional player, even if everyone involved politely pretended otherwise. Hey, it's baseball. We find creative ways around the rules to make things happen.
You're an Astros fan. You understand.
That's right. Absolutely true. And we would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling kids. Now, unfortunately, the story does turn tragic. On October 14th, 1862, Creighton played what would be his final game. Now, the legend says he crushed a massive home run, felt something tear during his mighty swing, finished the game anyway, went home, and died 4 days later at the age of 21. It's one of baseball's oldest stories. It's dramatic. It's unforgettable. It's also probably not true. Modern historians believe Creighton almost certainly suffered from an inguinal hernia that had been developing for some time. The swing may have aggravated it, or maybe it didn't. Either way, the complications proved fatal. There are even historians who wonder whether people around him knew he was seriously injured and continued letting him pitch anyway. They were making money. There's no smoking gun, but it's one of baseball history's oldest mysteries. His funeral became one of the largest gatherings baseball had ever seen. Players from rival clubs attended. Thousands reportedly visited his grave. His monument at Greenwood Cemetery became one of baseball's earliest pilgrimage sites, complete with a marble baseball perched on top. It has since been restored after years of deterioration. Now, let's talk numbers. This is where things get crazy. There were no numbers. There were no Baseball Reference. There was no StatCast, no WAR, no OPS plus. He played challenge matches between amateur clubs. So we really don't have any way to statistically define
war?
Mr. Creighton. No, well, there was a civil war, okay? You got me on that one.
Was no Civil War.
That's right. He dominated to a degree nobody had seen. He routinely held opponents to single-digit runs in an era where scores were 35 to 27, and those were not unusual scores. He threw the first documented shutout against a cricket club, winning 25-0. He was considered virtually unhittable by the standards of the day, and that's about as close as 19th century baseball gets to saying somebody had a 1.3 ERA and 300 strikeouts. The one thing I absolutely love is that his legend has outlived any lack of statistics. He's been dead for over 160 years, yet if you mention Jim Creighton to serious baseball historians, their eyes just might light up. He's baseball's, hey, have you ever heard of guy, which we have a lot of on this show. He became immortal thanks to, The Simpsons. Let's talk Homer at the bat. Mr. Burns assembles his dream team. Smithers informs him, sir, your right fielder has been dead for 130 years. That was Jim Creighton. Honestly, that's probably introduced him to more people than some history books. How about Jim Creighton in the Hall of Fame? I don't know.
He was 21. He was 21.
I know. But listen, if baseball had room for executives, umpires, and pioneers in the hall, surely there's a room for the guy who basically invented intimidating hitters. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying. Very different.
Did he hit batters on purpose?
I have no idea.
Did anybody ever charge him?
The historical record is incomplete.
I'm wondering if people complained about his pitching because he was not serving up the pitches the way that they were supposed to.
Oh, I'm sure there was some complaining and maybe even some talk behind the scenes of, maybe we should stop him. Yeah, but he's putting butts in seats. It's one of those kind of things. Hey, if he didn't just excel at baseball, he changed baseball. Without Jim Creighton, pitchers may have remained glorified pitching machines and ball dispensers for years longer. The game evolved because one 21-year-old decided that getting hitters out sounded a lot more fun than helping them. Not bad for a guy whose career barely lasted 3 seasons. Jim Creighton reminds us that sometimes the most important people in baseball history aren't the ones with 3,000 hits or 500 home runs. Sometimes, just sometimes, they're the ones who change the rules without ever changing the rule book. Jim Creighton never played a major league game. He never signed $1 million contract. He never wore a glove. But 160 years later, we're doing a show about him. And that's a pretty decent legacy right there.
That's awesome. So let's talk about, because I've pulled up my notes here from when we've talked about him just briefly. And let's talk about this death, because the death is very interesting.
It is, yes.
To me, because it probably didn't happen
right
at that baseball game.
The line was basically his home run was so powerful that it killed him.
Yeah. And when we talked about it before, Creighton said, I must have snapped my belt because I had swung so hard. He thought he heard a sound and he thought it was his belt. But then people say, oh, no, it was your bladder, actually. But there are several reports. And this is just interesting. There is the St. Louis Republican newspaper, reprinted in the Sporting News as well. A kid was in the crowd and he said, quote, heard his bladder burst.
Oh, jeez.
How is a kid going to know what a bladder bursting is going to sound like? And would you really hear it?
Was it Doogie Howser? What's going on?
I don't. It could have been Doogie Howser, possibly. But this is some other notations of interest. And this one is from John Thorne, the official historian of Major League Baseball, says that Henry Chadwick, who we've talked about many times before, is in the Hall of Fame as a pioneer, not so much a player, but the father of modern scorekeeping and rule book and stuff like that. He claims to have personally watched Creighton get hurt at a cricket match prior to this baseball game. That's where he thinks he got hurt. And all of this other motion from pitching and hitting a baseball probably just exacerbated it.
That makes sense because Creighton was a very good cricket player and played a lot of cricket.
Yeah, you mentioned it. They would play games against cricket teams. I mean, that town ball, rounders, it's all precursor to baseball. And Absolutely. This is so early in baseball that is exactly who they were playing against. But it sure sounds like nobody really believes that he did it in the baseball game itself anymore. There's too much evidence.
It was a cool story.
Yeah.
It was a cool story. And it was like, wow, this guy was so good. He hit a home run that killed him.
Yeah. But this is some other notes about Creighton's career. In 1860, he threw baseball's first recorded triple play.
Oh, wow.
Later that year, November 8th. So the season was long in 1960. He threw baseball's first recorded shutout. Possibly because he wasn't throwing the pitches that were being called for. Let's see. In that 1860 season, that was the Excelsior's first ever club tour that you mentioned. Albany, Buffalo. They went up to Canada, Philadelphia, Washington, Baltimore. They played 20 matches total. He scored 47 runs. He was only retired 56 times and never struck out.
That's amazing.
So he kind of sounds like an Ohtani type. Just a great athlete that happened to be very good at batted ball sports like cricket and this young sport of baseball.
Yes, way ahead of his time.
Yeah, but I'm glad you mentioned The Simpsons. I was going to make sure to, because I love that. And remember when we did the Simpsons episode, we actually calculated the WAR of Mr. Burns' team versus the actual WAR of the Simpsons, the current players. And I think Mr. Burns won by quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, as Two Strike Noise, I couldn't do the whole show without.
Yeah, well, I was ready to. If you had omitted that, I was ready to definitely jump on that and make sure we had that. So, thank you, Mark. That is Mr. Jim Creighton. The third time we've mentioned him, but by far the most in depth. I didn't realize he was only 21 when he died.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and you're right. The Civil War still went on for what, like 3 more years?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I guess he would have never played in the South. I don't.
Probably
I
not,
also just have a hard time imagining during the Civil War that there is baseball games being played and trying to draw fans.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right. Well, there you go. There's Jim Creighton. Nice work.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Mark, let's see. Where is Mitch? Mitch is, he's in the commissary.
He was clipping his toes there earlier.
In the commissary. That sounds about right. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll do this on our own. He's still getting paid somehow. It's a union thing, I guess. But Mark, let's go ahead and let's head into the final segment of the show. It's a segment that we like to call, and so we will continue to do so. Wax Pack Heroes.
Wax Pack Hero! Gonna pull a Wax Pack Hero! Stars in his eyes. On the podcast tonight.
Hello again, friends. It's time for another installment of Wax Pack's Heroes. Before we can start, though, let's go over the rules. Mark and Jeff are going to play an old-fashioned game of war, except this is more like baseball reference war. They'll each get 1 card and will score the baseball reference war of the year of the card. But wait! They can add or subtract points depending on certain aspects of the card and the player's season. Any 80s baseball aesthetics the card displays will earn an extra 1/10 of a point. Or if they don't like something, like 2-in-1 stirrups, they can subtract a 1/10 of a point as well. Also, if the player won any awards that season, they get a 1/2 a point for each. If the player led the league in any categories, they'll get a 1/10 of a point for each positive category, but minus 1/2 a point for each negative one. If there's a Hall of Famer anywhere on the card, that's a whole extra point. If the player had a Costacos Brothers poster made of them, they get a 1/2 a point for that. If Ricky Henderson or Nolan Ryan get pulled, the round is over. Jeff automatically wins if either pulls a Ricky card, and Mark wins if Nolan is pulled. If the player has any pop culture references, they get a 1/2 a point, unless they appeared on Seinfeld, The Simpsons, or Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That, friends, is a whole point for each. If the player was suspended for off-the-field mischief during their career or are on the 2SN, don't talk about list, that's a minus a 1/2 and a whole point respectively. So with that out of the way, it's time to play Wax Pack Heroes.
All right. Mark, looking up at the scoreboard, I like it.
I'm in trouble. I know.
I like what it says right now. I am up 17-11. We're playing to 20. I've got a good little hot streak here. I don't want to jinx it too much. Now, before we get into this week's cards, though, Mark, so we've been gifted some cards from was it 1972? I believe, that we've been opening. We still have some more of those. We also got a very nice care package from another listener. Mark, do you want to tell us about that before we get into this?
Yeah, Dave, you know who you are, Dave P. I won't use your last name in case you don't want us to. Dave sent us, we can play Wax Pack for quite a while now. Yeah, I've got some 88 tops. I've even got some traded cards in here, some Sport Flicks, jumbo pack, big cards. And this is what's amazing. Is we've got senior league cards to pull.
I'm so excited about that.
This is going to be awesome. So, Dave, thank you so much, dude. And for the gifts, the Nolan Ryan and the Ricky Henderson cards. And, dude, you are a gentleman and a scholar.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We're excited to work those in here, especially some Sport Flicks and some senior league cards. It's great. I'm excited about that. Mark, I did a little purchasing of my own recently. I went to it was called a peddler's fair. It's essentially just a big street fair where I was expecting more junk to be for sale. I was expecting more baseball stuff. There was nothing except for this thing that I bought for Wax Pack Heroes.
Well, it is a pretty good one.
Yeah, now this, you can, some sound effects there. These are cans from Upper Deck Choice. These are, I think, from 98 or 99. They're really keying on the home run race with the McGuire and Sosa and stuff. But on these cans, there is a player, and inside of the cans, there is one rookie class insert card plus 4 Upper Deck Choice regular cards. So that's 5 cards a can. So that's what we need. We each need 5 cards, right?
Yes.
So I have got this whole lot, 11 of them, for $20.
Nice.
Which is a good price, and I looked them up on eBay. They're selling for they're listed for $10 a can. I didn't look what they're actually selling for. I doubt they're selling that much. But let's see here. So I'm going to give you some players to choose from, and you're going to get that can, and I'll pick a can. I've got my can opener here because you have to. There's no like lifting these like a can of pudding. You know when you used to get those little cans of pudding at school. These are straight up, like Gen Z might not be able to open them because they require an actual can opener.
Uh-oh.
And if that sounded boomer, I didn't mean it to. I've just seen videos of Gen Z people not knowing what a can opener is or how to use it. And
you guys still have one, right?
I got it right here.
Oh, there you go.
All right. So, Mark, these are the players that you can choose from. We've got a Corey Koski with the Twins. We've got Troy Glaus, actual home run. I mean, I'm sure Koski hit some home run. Gabe Kapler with the Tigers. We have a Ken Griffey Jr. Oh, okay. So some of these are rookie class and some are home run heroes. So those others were rookie class. Ken Griffey Jr. is the home run hero. Let's see. Another rookie class is Ryan Minor. All right. Home run hero, Sammy Sosa. Home run hero, Mark McGuire. Home run hero, a second Mark McGuire. Let's see, a rookie class, J.D. Drew. And a home run hero, Mike Piazza. So,
oh boy.
Which I'm going to go ahead and maybe let's focus on the home run heroes, because if it's a rookie class, you know what? Doesn't matter. You choose whatever. I think I already know which one you're going to choose anyway, so it doesn't.
Well, I want to hear your guess.
I'm going to guess that you are going to go with, I was going to say Griffey, but I think you're going to go with Ryan Minor.
I'm going with Griffey, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, well, I'll go with Piazza because he's in a Mets uniform here.
There you go.
So that way we're doing both home run heroes.
This is very exciting, Jeff.
I opened one of these on a stream, which would be more exciting because you can see them. But just know that this is going to be super exciting. All right, so let's here. I'm going to put the microphone up to the can while I do this, so you can hear this. This is ASMR for baseball fans. Did that do it for you? I'm gonna
reminded me of some good home cooked meals. Yes.
Oh boy, the inside is probably worse than the gum that you get in the old packs. All right, so there's yours. Let me open up mine. I'm gonna assume you're gonna want to go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first.
See, now if this was ASMR, I'd be doing that really slow and sensual like, but we're gonna just do this. All right, I've seen these kind of things before, but I never knew what was in them. Now I know. All right. So, Mark, we're going to start off with a bang here because it comes with the one special card and then a pack of 4. You got to open the pack. But the limited edition home run heroes cards, you from the Ken Griffey Jr. can have pulled Mike Piazza.
Nice. He's a home run hero.
He is also Baywatch star and a Hall of Famer, so you're getting a lot of points.
Yes,
right off the bat there. Let's see, Michael Joseph Piazza, drafted in the 62nd round as a favor, now in the Hall of Fame. Did you see that there was some new Ted Williams footage of him hitting, talking about hitting, that is just resurfaced, that was considered lost media until now?
No, I haven't seen that. No.
Well, yeah, it's great. It's not hard to find. It's really interesting. Joey Votto actually broke it down with Jeff Passan on social media, which was...
Oh, nice.
That is what you should watch for sure, too. I mean, Joey Votto is great, but he's just straight talking hitting, and it's great. But there is footage also that I saw, that I've seen before, of Ted Williams as a favor came and watched Mike Piazza take batting practice as a high schooler, and was very taken with Piazza. I think he was being nice because Piazza looked awful in the video, but whatever. Mike Piazza, 16 years in the big leagues, 8 with the Mets, 2 with the Dodgers, Padres, Oakland, and Florida. Florida for those 5 games, just trying not to get hurt. Overall, Hall of Famer, as I mentioned, Rookie of the Year. All of these are going to help you get points here. All right, so he's a Hall of Famer, so you get a point off of that. He's a Rookie of the Year, so you get half a point off for that. Now, how, since all these guys are retired, what do you want to do? How should we do this? Should we go for the biggest WAR year? Let's just blow it out.
For this one?
Yeah, we're going to go for their highest WAR year.
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, on this card, he's got a mustache, of course. So you're going to get a 10th of a point for that as well.
Yes.
Mike Piazza's highest WAR year was his age 28 season. That was his last full year with the Dodgers in 1997. He hit 362, 431 on base, slugged 638 for a OPS plus of 185 to lead the league. He was an all-star that year, so that's another 10th of a point. Came in second in MVP voting. Had 40 home runs, 124 RBI, and an 8.7 WAR.
Nice.
That's not bad. Not bad at all. I think we've talked about Mike Piazza and just enough before. I'm not sure there's a whole lot we need to reiterate on. Managed Team Italy in 2023. That was before the espresso machine.
Yes.
Let's see. I remember he bought a lower tier soccer club in Italy and it went bankrupt.
Bummer.
Number is retired by the Mets. He's got a Piazza's surname and uniform numbers in the background of Peter Parker's bedroom in the 2019 Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, nice.
And there is also a Scottish indie pop band called Belle and Sebastian that have a song called Piazza the New York Catcher.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've definitely gone through these things before.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that'll do it. A 10.4, I think, is a pretty good score.
Yeah, I don't think I've scored 10.4 before.
All right. So you've got 10.4. I have got, with the Seattle Mariners, out of the Mets box, I got a Mariner, and out of the Piazza box, or out of the Griffey box, you got Piazza. I have got, for the Seattle Mariners, your favorite player, other than Omar Vizquel, Alex Rodriguez.
Oh, boy.
I guess we haven't recorded since the Mariners' 50th anniversary happened.
Yes.
Is Dave Valley one of the top 50 players in New York in Seattle Mariners history?
Yeah, anyway, Dave's a good guy.
Yeah, I know he's a good guy. He does a good job on the broadcast. But how are you giving him a top 50 player?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
I mean, there wasn't Richie Sexson. I mean, who are you going to choose from? But still. All right. Let's see. So A-Rod overall, 22 years. Would have been a lot longer if he wouldn't have, gotten busted so many times. The Yankees for 12, Seattle for 7, Texas for 3. He led the league in WAR 6 different times during his career. But the number one time was the 2000 season where he had a 10.4 WAR, which is what your score was.
Yes.
Now, obviously, he's going to get knocked down for the Mitchell Report.
Yes.
So he's at 9.4. He was an all-star this year. He led the league in WAR I guess I should tell you the rest of his numbers. He hit .316, .420 on base. Nice. .606 slugging for a .163 OPS plus. He had 41 home runs, 132 RBI, 15 stolen bases. Scored 134 runs for that 10.4, which gets knocked down to a 9.4. Now, the all-star and the leading the league in WAR bumps him back up to a 10.4. Nothing on this card is going to help me out, though.
What about pop culture?
We'll get there. First round, first overall pick by the Mariners in 1993. Traded by the Rangers with cash to the Yankees for Alfonso Soriano. Pop culture, of course, dated Madonna. He's been on Shark Tank. I guess there's your pop culture, which will put me over the 10.4 threshold.
Yep.
So I'll take that. Oh, he dated Tori Wilson. Can't forget that. He's got a show on CNBC. He appeared in The Captain about Derek Jeter. Also in the subject of Alex versus A-Rod. Pepsi commercial he was in. Featured in a commercial for Guitar Hero World Tour.
I love that game.
I played a couple of my World Tour. I did not play.
I rocked World Tour, man.
Nice. Oh, also dated Jennifer Lopez. And was in that DirecTV commercial, remember, with David Ortiz, Griffey Jr., and Randy Johnson.
Yes.
That we'll give him that as his pop culture point because that's the best. So unfortunately, I am going to win by half a point.
You beat my 10.4.
Yeah, with a 10.9. But I'll take it. All right.
Okay.
All right, there's one for you. Now we're going to open these packs that come with it. And your first card in this pack is... It's a Mariner, but here he's with the Texas Rangers, Mark McLemore. He was one of the top 50 Mariners, right?
He was, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he was.
I wasn't at that game, actually.
Oh,
but
really?
I did watch on TV, yeah.
Oh. Let's see. Mark McLemore. Overall, 19 years in the big leagues. 5 with Texas and California. 4 with the Mariners. 3 with the Orioles. Then Oakland, Houston, and Cleveland for parts of seasons. His career high WAR is from 1996, where he hit 290. He was with Texas this year. He hit 290, 383 on base, 379 slug for a 92 OPS plus. He had 5 home runs, 46 RBI, and 27 stolen bases. A lot of his value came from the fact that he could play multiple positions.
And play them well, yes.
Yeah, and play them well. He had a 4.3 WAR.
Nice.
He's got some facial hair I think I can see here. I'll give you a 1/10 of a point for that. Nothing else on that card is going to help you out. Nothing. He led the league in caught stealing one year. That's the only thing he ever led the league in. Was never an all-star, believe it or not. Would have thought he would have just been like the lone representative of somebody at some point, but no.
Yeah.
Let's see. Similarity scores. Johnny Evers. I'll bet you.
Your hero.
Well, Evers is the only one I like out of that trio. Probably turned more double plays than that entire trio ever did as well.
Now, here's a question for you as far as pop culture, because McLemore named himself after Macklemore.
Did he really?
Yes.
Okay, I don't see anything about that.
Oh, well, I know. I live in Seattle.
Well, okay. Okay. I will give it to you. That's, I'm fine with that. Assuming it's true. I got no reason to doubt you. Well, I mean, I got reasons, but
well,
I didn't know that. That's actually kind of, I mean, obviously Macklemore, the artist, is a big baseball fan. He's got that great song that's got a lot of samples from Dave Niehaus on it.
Yeah, the My Oh My, yeah.
Yeah. That song gives me goosebumps when I hear it. I love that song. That's great stuff. All right. So that's a 4.9 for you from Mark McLemore. Not bad. I'll open up my pack here. And you will be going up against a rookie. Oh, I got the rookie card. This is probably what comes in those rookie class cards of J.D. Drew. There is nothing on this card that's going to help me out. He's got high socks, but no stirrups.
Bummer.
Let's see. David Jonathan Drew. So wouldn't it be DJ Drew? but he went with JD.
Right.
Brothers Stephen and Tim both played baseball as well. Overall, 14 years in the big leagues, 6 for St. Louis, 5 for Boston, the Dodgers for 2, and Atlanta for 1. His high WAR for a season, wow, came in that lone season in Atlanta, 2004. I remember, I was there. Hit 305, 436 on base, 569 slug for a 157 OPS plus.
Oh,
he came
my.
in 6th in MVP voting. Hit 31 home runs, 93 ribs, 12 stolen bases. Wow. He struck out 116 times, but he walked 118. That's incredible.
wow.
For an 8.3 WAR.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, that's a win for me. I can tell you already. We don't need to go a whole lot further.
Man, no kidding. Goodness.
Let's see here. Any kind of pop culture doesn't really look like it. He just played his game, went home, and kept quiet.
Guess so.
Part of back-to-back home runs with the Dodgers, along with Jeff Kent, Russell Martin, and Marlon Anderson.
Wow.
He was traded to the Braves, along with Eli Marrero, who spent time behind the dish for them, Jason Marquis, who was a longtime Atlanta starter, Ray King, I remember him as a reliever, and Adam Wainwright.
Huh.
That is
Wow.
quite a haul.
No kidding.
But I don't see anything else really. I think he was one of those guys. Oh yeah, he was with Boris, and out of high school, the Phillies took him second overall, and he didn't sign.
He sat out a year.
Yeah, saying I won't sign for less than $10 million.
Yes.
They offered him 2.6, so he played for the St. Paul Saints, who at that point were an independent team.
Yes.
And then was selected in the first round of the next year's draft, 5th overall by the Cardinals, where he signed for $7 million.
Well, he wasn't going to take less than 10.
Well, sitting out a year, he decided. All right.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. I'm up 2-0. I like these cards so far. Mark, your next card is just a regular card. Wow, this is an interesting helmet that Jay Bell is wearing for the Diamondbacks here. He has got, this is spring training, and the batting helmet he's wearing, you know the colors that the Diamondbacks had originally. There was teal and purple and black, right?
Yes.
This batting helmet has got that gold D on it, but it is a Mariners, like Trident Mariners blue. It is not one of their colors. I've never seen that blue on anything Arizona Diamondbacks. I remember Jay Bell is with the Bucks more than anybody.
Yeah, me too.
But I think he was on the World Series team, I think, for Arizona in 2001. Overall, 18 years in the big leagues, Pittsburgh for 8, Arizona for 5, Cleveland for 3, and then Kansas City and the Mets for 1 apiece. His best WAR year was 1993 with the Bucks. He hit 310, 392 on base, 437 slug, and a 124 OPS plus. He had 9 home runs, 51 RBI, 16 stolen bases, and a 6.2 WAR. Nothing on this card is going to help you out. He was an all-star this year and a Gold Glove, so that'll be a whole extra point for you. Let's see here. What did he do in the playoffs? Not a big help for the Diamondbacks on the way to the World Series. Didn't hit very well at all in the playoffs, except for 91 in the NLCS against Atlanta with Pittsburgh. He raked. Wow. Hit 414.
Wow.
He had 14 hits. 12 hits in that series. Didn't walk, struck out 10 times. But still, not bad. Let's see here. Drafted first round, 8th overall in the 84 draft by the Twins. He was traded to Cleveland for Bert Blyleven and traded with Jeff King from the Bucks to the Royals for Jeff Martin, Jeff Granger, Joe Randa, and Jeff Wallace. So not a whole lot there.
Not a ton.
As I'm going to assume the same is with the pop culture.
Yeah, nothing really there. I did find something kind of interesting, though, and kind of cool. Bell serves as a member of the advisory board for the baseball assistance team, a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to helping former major league, minor league, and Negro League players through financial and medical difficulties.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was named manager of the Karachi Monarchs of the Baseball United League.
Oh, nice.
Not surprised at all that there's nothing here. He was a quiet guy, keep your head down.
Play some ball and
wouldn't expect him.
Bench coach delivered.
Bench coach for the New Zealand national team in the 2013 World Baseball Classic. But still, that's a 7.2 for you. I have got something that is called Cover Glory. It is a Sammy Sosa card. Sammy Sosa's incredible season electrifies the baseball world, and it's called Route to 66. So this is obviously about the 98 season, but it's going to be Sammy Sosa. Now, obviously,
that was a quick game.
Well, I don't know, because obviously there's no Hall of Fame, and there is Mitchell Report here.
Yes.
So let's see. Overall, Sosa, 18 years in baseball. In the big leagues, I should say. 13 with the Cubs, 3 with the White Sox, 2 with the Rangers, 1 with Baltimore. His high watermark for a WAR was 2001 with the Chicago Cubs. Hit 328, 437 on base, 737 slug for a 203 OPS plus, which did not lead the league.
That's funny.
He hit 64 home runs, drove in 160. He led the league in runs, RBI, total bases, and intentional walks. He was an all-star and came in second in MVP voting for a 10.3 WAR. So I'm not even going to do the math. This is
I think you got it.
That's a clean. I like these cards. We're gonna use them at least 2 more weeks in a row.
Okay.
It was traded by the Rangers with Wilson Alvarez and Scott Fletcher to the White Sox for Harold Baines and Fred Manrique. Then he was traded to the Cubs for George Bell, and then to the O's for Jerry Hairston. I remember George W. Bush, who was, of course, the president of the Rangers when Sammy was there, lists trading Sammy Sosa away as his biggest baseball regret. That's not hard to say it was for me just in that sentence. But it's not hard to say that when somebody's hitting 60 plus home runs a year, that, you might regret having gotten rid of him for.
You traded him.
For Scott Fletcher with Scott Fletcher and Wilson Alvarez for at that point, already hobbled Harold Baines and Fred Manrique.
Ooh.
Who I love Fred Manrique, but come on. Come on. I guess W was like, well, I'll name the dog Fletcher. How about that? That'll make up for it all.
Yeah, there you go. That's what happened.
All right. So we don't need to go through any of this other stuff. It's Sammy Sosa. We've talked about him more than enough. I'm watching the hand-operated scoreboard. They're changing the 17 to 18, and the crowd is going nuts here, Mark.
I can only lose one more.
Yeah, that's right. You can. By the way, I've gotten a couple of other responses to our "Who do you root for?" question. Yes. Both my way.
I can't understand that.
I still love the comment that I'm just too thirsty for the win. I get it. I'm a competitor. I want to. If I am going to do something competitive, I am always going to try to win. Ask my wife when we were dating. She's not a gamer. I'm a gamer. We were at my apartment and the PlayStation was out and she was looking through the games and I'm like, oh, do you want to play? And so she picked the snowboarding game because she snowboards. SSX, Tricky, one of the best games of all time. But I am a master at that game. Like I am a absolute master. I have 100% at that game. And so we do a couple of runs and I let her win. And she's feeling really confident. And so much so that she talked smack to me. In which case, I picked out a course that I knew a shortcut that I could finish in under 10 seconds, while the rest of the course takes well over a minute. And I just let her stew in that. Like I am a competitor. I'm not going to sit back and just let things happen. So there you go.
I see that. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. Well, and now I'm married to her, so it clearly worked. Almost 20 years. So, all right, that'll do it for Wax Packs Heroes. These were some interesting cards. It was kind of fun taking the highest WAR. We got some real high scores.
Boy, yeah, that's a fact.
We're going to do that with the Senior League cards as well. Unless
Yes.
there's a war for the Senior League, in which case we're definitely doing that. But all right, well, that will do it. I'm up 8-11. That'll wrap up this edition of Wax Packs Heroes. That'll also do it for our show this week. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Appreciate it very much. If you want more of us, you can find us on the social medias. All of the links are in the show notes, or you can always Google Two Strike Noise. That's TWO Strike Noise. I am streaming 3 days a week on YouTube, if you want to do that, 9 o'clock West Coast time. You can also watch the VODs. I've been impressed. People have been watching the VODs. If they can't see it live, you can't interact as much or at all. But still, you can see me be an idiot. So that's always fun. Mark, also, we get emails. This is how people send us stuff, and it's great. Why don't you tell everybody how that works?
Sure, you can write to us on the electronic mail apps that you use at Two Strike Noise, spell it out, TWO Strike Noise @gmail.com.
You can even send it to us from your AOL or Prodigy accounts.
That's right.
Prodigy. I had Prodigy before I had AOL.
My mom still has a Juno email. I don't think it works, though.
Oh, my mom's web address is still AOL.com.
Nice.
All right, that'll do it for this week. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. We will see you again on the next episode of Two Strike Noise.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.